Blog Talk Radio.
I need that. Shut up. What you mean? What you think? What? Oh hey. What? You got me confused. What? Shall I make? Now we can't link. What? Tiptoe, my eyes cold. Gone, they long gone. Butterscotch is like gold. I'ma wrap that in the bowl. Big kiss. What? Shut up. What you mean? What you think? What? Oh hey. What? You got me confused. What? Shall I make? Now we can't link. What?
Hey, this is your girl, Love Jones Tide. That's the sounds of Jordan Pauline. You can find her on Instagram. That's her newest single entitled What? Had her on the show last podcast. She's doing majorly well right now and so adorable. Like she's just a philanthropist and a singer, songwriter, and a performer. So big up to Jordan for that single, What? So today we have in the studio Dana DONOFREE, and she is the founder of AnaOno. She's going to be in the studio with me tonight. And so just to give you a little bit of insight on Dana, let's just give you some insight by giving you some understanding. So what they go by, here at AnaOno, we know the importance of community. We work hard to ensure that no woman going through diagnosis, treatment, or surgery feels alone. That's why we make sure to align ourselves with reputable organizations who share our vision. It's our deepest belief that when faced with a diagnosis, you deserve the best, and with us, you are never alone. Hashtag never alone. And I noticed that on a lot of her postings on Instagram, and I even been reposting these things, guys. So without further ado, let's bring the lady of the hour, Ms. Dana. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm coming out of having, I had my breast implants done, Dana, on the 16th of August, so not too long ago. And then I got a touch of hematoma on the 9th of September, so I had to go back under the knife for that. That was kind of scary. But now I am, we got to talk because I need some new bras, because this bra that they gave me two, but the white one looks like a handmaid's bra. Like, I hate it, but I have to wear it. And I got to wear them. My plastic surgeon says I have to keep it on for now because of the hematoma scare. He just says I have to constantly wear the bra. So definitely. But enough about me. Let's get into you. I am loving your website. It's just amazing. And let's get started with first question. You yourself, breast cancer survivor, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your backstory?
Yeah. Yeah, I was diagnosed in 2010 at the age of 27 and had no family history, didn't really, have a reason to think that, like, as a young woman, I would get breast cancer. I didn't even know young women got breast cancer. And just kind of one of those deals that, yeah, it was a total shock. It came completely out of the blue.
You know what's so interesting, Dana, that you say that, because when I interviewed, and I want you to come back on the show next month, and if it's not you, if it's someone from your camp, that would be great, because, next month does mark Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so I want to definitely dedicate the entire month to nothing but podcasts regarding breast cancer and raising more awareness. And, so when you mentioned about the young age you were, I think that it seems to be a myth with when it comes to breast cancer is, I'm not, this age, so it shouldn't affect me, or my breasts are not this size, so it shouldn't affect me. Because I did interview the ladies of For the Breast of Us. Are you familiar with them?
Yes, I love them very much. They're such a great organization.
Yeah.
Two awesome chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jasmine has a similar testimony like you, where she was in her 20s. So this is very enlightening. I didn't know that you were that young. So I'm so blessed to have met and come across you. So how many years have you been cancer-free?
So in February of next year, of 2020, it will be 10 years since my diagnosis. So I feel really fortunate that I was able, that my feet are still here on this earth, and I'm still, running around and, kicking it where I can, I think that that's like such a huge, huge part. I mean, at 27 years old, at the type of diagnosis I had, I really have literally been a cancer patient for the last 9 years. I've been on meds, hormonal suppressants, kind of all of those things, and that's been a process of treating my disease. And just recently, about almost a year ago, I decided to go off of my treatment because I just was really having a very big slump in my quality of life, and it was becoming really taxing, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity or the choice to get off of my treatment because we thought I had been on it long enough. But I think it's such a reality, right? Like breast cancer isn't just a blimp on the radar. It really does, or it can, last a long time, or maybe even possibly a lifetime.
No, I agree. I'm glad that you mentioned that. So, Dana, what type of procedure, if you don't mind me asking, did you have to have done in order to have yours removed?
So I was diagnosed early stage HER2 positive. So because of the aggressiveness of my cancer, I removed both of my breasts. So I did a bilateral mastectomy, and I had both of them reconstructed. And I was on, I did 6 rounds of chemotherapy, and I was on a drug called Herceptin for an entire year. So that was what kind of the targeted therapy that went directly after my type of cancer.
Wow. And I can concur and relate, because I had a double vasectomy because I was given the choice of radiation and chemo. And honestly, when I even heard the word radiation, I was just like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. I just, I just did not. So my oncologist, when she gave me the option, well, Ty, we can do a double mastectomy because yours was caught at stage 0. So yes, I kind of went all out with getting the mastectomy, but honestly, I did it because cancer doesn't run in my family. Breast cancer doesn't, but other forms of cancer do, and I just did not want to run the risk of okay, have that lumpectomy or radiation, and then what's the chances of it may pop up in my lymph nodes or somewhere else, you know? So
right.
This is an interesting journey because I do agree with you. I'm on pain meds that I have to take because of the breast cancer reconstructive surgery. I've been cut open so many times, and you know the regenerating of the nerves and things such as that causes a lot of pain certain days.
Right.
And I have to maintain taking these meds, but I do manage my pain with the medication to still have a functional life, because you can't just stay in bed all day, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a major reality, right, for a lot of these surgeries, is that they aren't just, you don't just bounce back up and get into your normal routine, you know, a week after surgery. I mean, these are major operations. And, you know, depending on, you know, how your reconstruction is, if you did implants or you decide to take other parts of the tissue from one part of your body to reconstruct another, it's, you know, I mean, some people, you know, recover for months after these procedures. And, you know, I always kind of feel like I know now with social media, you know, a lot more people say this, but like it's not a boob job, you know, and women that undergo boob jobs don't just pop back into their normal routine either. But, you know, there is a different level when you are removing all of that breast tissue from your body and, you know, and then trying to recover and go about your day. It takes a little while.
It really does. So, Dana, I want to share with our listeners, because I think this is super, super hot. Let me share with them, and then I'll let you expound on it. And then I'm going to take this call after that, because I noticed you got a caller calling with area code 818. So before we get to the caller, let's get this. I want to share with our listeners something that I find very amazing, and it was on your About Us on your page, on your website. But let me share with our listeners. So Dana's company states, it's our deepest beliefs that when faced with a diagnosis, you deserve the best, and with us, you are never alone. So for 3 consecutive years, they have had the honor to showcase at Fashion Week, at New York Fashion Week, in partnership with Project #Cancerland, a platform that is focused on changing the conversation and evoking accountable actions for a cure of breast cancer. All raised from the show go to METAvivor. So METAvivor, an organization that uses 100% of the monies raised to fund research grants to improve lives of stage, tell me again, Dana, it's Roman numeral I and V. Is that 6? Or is that 5?
So that's it's stage 4 breast cancer. It is an organization called METAvivor. Yep. So it's like metastatic breast cancer, but instead of, you know, being a survivor, because a lot of these patients don't identify with surviving breast cancer because they are terminally ill, right? They've received a chronic lifetime diagnosis of breast cancer, and that's right. the most advanced stage, which is stage 4. So it's also the most underfunded section of all of breast cancer research, when it is the only breast cancer that kills. So we really believe that if we can treat metastatic breast cancer, we all win, right? We all win from the therapies that get developed for treating metastatic breast cancer. I'm one of them. Like the drug I was on, Herceptin, you know, wasn't released until the early 2000s. So when I was diagnosed in 2010, you know, women that were diagnosed in the 90s, in the 80s with my type of breast cancer aren't alive today because they didn't have a medication that helped them, right? And that's really the realities. We need these life-changing, earth-shattering drugs, so like everybody gets an opportunity to live longer with the people that they love.
Yeah, and I find that very disheartening when I hear you tell me, you know, because I'm still new to the world of breast cancer, and shame on me, but I think shame on a lot of us women that, you know, if it's not affecting us, we don't pay attention. And I think that's the status quo for a lot